Alright, I've done my research. I am 100% ready for this player draft. I know exactly who I'm drafting. We're ready to go. But where is everybody else? 4 days early? No, mate, no, it's the 7th. I checked. Of November. Bloody Americans putting the date backwards.
Go Cubs, go. Go Cubs, go. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today.
Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to the Chicago Cubs. It is Season 9, Episode 4, would you believe Episode 100 at the Cubs. Still haven't won a World Series. And, well, today we're back a little bit later than I was anticipating. We're after the All-Star break against Cincinnati. And the reason for that is because I saw the date as we read it as the 7th and saw the day first and thought that was the 7th of the 7th. Obviously, the 7th of the 11th in American terms is the 12th of the 7th month, not the 7th of November as I read it, which didn't make sense anyway. So, as usual, I'm an idiot and we're back after the All-Star break. But that means we do have a lot to catch you up on, including first-year player draft and the All-Star game itself. So let's start with us. Let's start with how we've been getting on. And of course, we left off with this win over the Dodgers, which took us then to Baltimore. Now, we won 1 of 3 against them. We had game 3 here. And we lost it in the 9th. We scored a run to go in front, and then we gave up 4 runs to walk-off grand slam, in case you're wondering. So that was typical, wasn't it? Have a look at everybody's numbers here. We can see it wasn't a bad day. Most people got a hit with the bat. Perhaps not quite enough people getting multiple hits. And then the pitching, it was Murillo again, coming in to save the day for the opposition, as he has all our closers have a bit of a nasty habit doing. We bounced back though. Cincinnati, we won 4 from 4. Nice sweep in Cincinnati. We then hosted Tampa Bay, and of course they have Petey Crow amongst others of our players. 17-7 wasn't a bad effort, was it? We won 2 of 3 against them. The Angels then came to town. We won 2 of 3 against them, including in game 2 here, 7-0. And this was actually a Gallagher shutout. So we'll go down and have a look at his whole stats in a second here. But you can see there, 2 hits, a 2-hit shutout. What a performance from one of the guys new to the club this season. The bats did okay as well. 7 runs is never a bad thing, is it? But yeah, the pitching, not much to terms of the bullpen. They got a day off. But yeah, what a performance from Ryan Gallagher. We then went to Detroit. We won 2 of 2 there, both 5-1. Very, very nicely done indeed. So we then had St. Louis. Now, I almost came back for St. Louis because they were obviously in our division. Now, unfortunately, we only won 1 of 3 against them. We lost game 3 here, as you can see, 10-9. And you will also see they scored 8 of those runs in the last 2 innings. So the bullpen's out at again. Just when I was starting to like our bullpen and get over my deep hatred for a bullpen, they're doing this to me this season. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad in terms of the bats. We scored 9 runs. It was a good day, you might even argue, but the bullpen should be shot. Basically, didn't help Alcantara injuring himself after 1 out, 8 pitches. So that obviously, yeah, like I said, that didn't help. But Pinto, Moore, and Murillo, I mean, 3 guys who we would expect, maybe not this season, but generally speaking, to be quite reliable. Yeah, just not getting it done for us. So then Colorado came to town. We won 2 of 3 against them, so that's very nice. We went to Cleveland. That could have gone better. We lost all 3. Philadelphia was up next. Now we won game 1 of this. We lost game 1 of this series 4-6. Now if we go over to July, we had a doubleheader against them. A nice win in game 3 here, a 15-2. And what a day this was for Garland. Now, he was briefly back into the majors for Dela Cruz, who had been injured, but a 7 RBI day for Garland. Here he is here, and yeah, just absolutely smashing things to pieces. 2 home runs in that as well, and just a great day. A great day for someone who should be a very good player, just not quite having the season we'd hoped at this point. And if we have a look at the pitching, it was another Gallagher start. Not as good as his 2-hit shutout, but we can't expect that every week, really, can we? But yeah, generally speaking, a very, very good performance. So that meant that we won 3 of 4 against the Phillies. We then went to St. Louis. We won 2 of 3 against them. That was big. And then we had a series against Pittsburgh at home. We won 3 of 4 against them. And then Cincinnati, we had a good wins, 13-6, but then we sort of went off for the All-Star break a little bit early, losing the last 2. So we won 23 of 38 since last episode. That's a win percentage of just over 600. And if we look at the standings, we are very, very much back into contention with that. We are now just 2.5 games back of the Brewers. We are inside the wildcard places as well. So that is, it's all very much exactly where we need to be. We're playing the Reds, who are the worst team in baseball, I think. No, the Twins are a little bit worse than them. So it's, yeah, we've already lost too many games to the Reds this season, you would argue. We have a look at some of the league leaders, and shockingly, De La Cruz nowhere to be seen. Now, like I say, he did miss a few weeks, and so I'm wondering if that's put him outside of the threshold to be counted for these numbers. But even things like RBIs and home runs, we would expect him to be there. But I guess, you know, he does need to play games to stay up there. But Perez, he is still up there on pitching war, third, which is very nice. We very rarely have pitching representation here. So speaking of the pitchers, this is what everybody is doing. Alcantara has fallen in a heap, which is disappointing. But these things can happen to him. He tends to be, as we said many times, he tends to be very, very good or extremely bad. But yeah, generally speaking, everybody else is either doing well or getting better. Murillo's the other one. He's in a slump as well. So yeah, we're sort of top and tails with some rubbish. But in between, everybody's doing not too badly at all. Lonsway is back in since last episode. He's in for Eldridge, who was out for about 2 months at the time, I think, with an injury. So yes, Lonsway is back in the bullpen to give us our third left armor in there, which is not a bad thing, I suppose. And if we look at the hitters, you will notice De La Cruz is back. But yeah, as I said, he did miss most of the time between the 2 episodes. Players that are playing well, Giordano has started to find his feet, which is excellent news because we wanted him to be a big player for us. The one issue that we have is just we don't have enough right-handed bats. There's 3 in on the roster right now, and one of them is the backup catcher. So there's a few switch hitters in there as well. De La Cruz and Namala can bat right-handed if required, but yeah, we're just very, very overloaded right now with left-handed hitters, which makes it difficult to try and set a lineup against just generally speaking, because it's hard to not have 3 or 4 lefties going in a row, which ideally you don't want, obviously. So that is how we are looking. Let's have a look at the All-Star game. So this is the American League All-Stars. Now we will recognize a few names in here. Carlos Vargas got himself called up, which is frustrating. Harry Ford, of course, who just blew us away in the World Series. And then there's a couple of others, I think, here that were once with us, or maybe they were in the National League side. But anyway, that's the American League team there. Let's have a look at the National League. Now, we had 3 players called up. Now, we'll recognize Hans Cruz. We had him for half a season. Couldn't really afford to keep him, but he's got himself a call-up. Jean Pinto. First time in his career that he has been called into the All-Star game, so well done to him. Then if we keep going down, we will see that we've obviously got De La Cruz got called in, and also for the first time in his career was Namala, which means missing out for the second time in his career was William McQuaid, which is very, very harsh on him, but there we go. He didn't get called up on this particular occasion. So that's who got called in. Let's see how they did in the game itself. Not a great day for the National League. No runs off of only the 4 hits. If we go and have a look at everybody's particular numbers here, and we'll see De La Cruz, he walked and struck out, so he didn't actually get to hit the ball. And if we go down to Namala, well, he just struck out twice, so he didn't get to hit the ball either. In terms of the pitching, Pinto did get an inning, a good inning, really. No hits, 1 walk, no earned runs, no runs at all. So, yeah, well done to him. He should be pretty pleased with that. But, yeah, the bats and just generally speaking, the National League did not really turn up for this one. So this brings us now to the player draft. So let's have a look at who we got. First round, Shamar Buchanan. We got him in, only 18 years old and batting over 500 in high school. There's a lot of potential there with the bat. Not so much with the defensive side of his game, but we'll see. We'll see what we get out of him as time moves on. Left fielder for now. Now, we did get a supplemental round draft pick, and we went and got Anna Tomoshkin. We'll go with that for now. It says he's a center fielder. He's very much not. He might be an outfielder, not a center fielder, though. But again, there's a lot to like about the bat, and we'll see what we get. Now, I have a feeling we're going to not quite have enough money to sign all these guys. So Shamar, who we just saw, may not actually end up playing for us just because we can't afford to sign him. Third round pick, and I wanted to try and get some starting pitchers in. So Denny Lloyd is the first man that we got, and yeah, I mean, he should be, all things being equal here, fairly decent. Not loving the lack of movement, but we'll see what we get. You know, early days, obviously, for him. Another one of these high school kids. There seem to only be high school kids to draft these days. I don't know if that's something that sort of happens as the game goes on, but yeah, very few college kids are available to draft. So next round, we went and got Jesus Romo, a similar sort of player in that you know, he could develop into a pitcher, but we've got a decent bat here. If pitching doesn't work out for him, then let's hope that hitting does, because contact power and eye all suggest that, yeah, we've got maybe a more of a Shohei Ohtani than an Eldridge here. He looks like he could be a genuinely good batter. So what a play to pick up in the 4th round. Next round was Jimmy Nickum. Yeah, I mean, again, a decent bat. Maybe not the best defensively, but certainly not terrible. And we'll see what happens with him if he does indeed sign on. Just because he hasn't signed yet, we're running out of money. And then the last of the guys that we would expect to amount to something right now, certainly based off of potential, is Gabe Stacey. He is a bullpen pitcher, a closer most likely. And again, we'll kind of see what we get out of him. But yeah, he was in the 6th round, the last sort of one for now that we would expect to have the chance to make it into the majors. So yeah, that is everything caught up on. And I did that in pretty good time, I think. Let's go and see the lineups as we go to Cincinnati to face the worst team in the National League. So here we go. We've got Khalil Watson leading us off. Then we've got the second base. Bobby Patterson in right field bats second. Then Dela Cruz bats third at third. McQuaid DHs at 4. Vlad is batting 5, playing first. Giordano in left field for this one bats 6. Ballesteros, the catcher, bats 7. Namala shortstopping at 8. And De Leon in center field bats 9. Eury Perez is the number 1 man in the rotation post All-Star break. He has a 5.4 record with an ERA of 3.1 and a whip of 1.05. Up against Bailey Ober for them, a 4-10 record, ERA of 4.04, a whip of 1.16. The matchup suggests that you know, the only one we lose is Vlad, and we know that on his day Vlad doesn't lose to anybody. So let's hope we can see this through. So welcome to Cincinnati. Watson will lead us off, batting 287 this season. And yeah, like I say, this is one of these that we really should win. We've won 5 of 7, but realistically, I mean, if we want to sort of keep pushing up towards the top of the division, it's the sort of series we need to sweep this one, even if it is away from home. And Watson gets off to a good start with a leadoff single. In will come Patterson now, batting 244 this season, a 2-0 pitch. And that's into left field. It is going to be caught, though. Watson will go back to first. Now, Watson actually has a 7-game hit streak going, which he's now extended to 8 games. So well done to him. As Dela Cruz comes in, who has got 250. Is he going to get there, Watson? Just about. 250 hits for the Cubs. We've got from Dela Cruz, which isn't too bad at the All-Star break in his second season for us. And there's another one. As that gets down into left field, is Watson going to try and score? He is. And we've got Dela Cruz into second as well. So an RBI double. 1-0 up, 1 away, runner at second, and it'll bring up William McQuaid to the plate, who is batting 243 this season, an 0-1 pitch. McQuaid into right field even, that drops in. Is that going to score Dela Cruz? No, wisely he stops at third. So runners at the corners for Vlad, who has got 1,000 hits for the Cubs now. He's surpassing his Blue Jays numbers with the Cubs, so if and when he does go into the Hall of Fame, it will be, I'm assuming that means as a Cub, if that's where he's got his best numbers. Never been 100% sure how they work out which club they get inducted as, but yeah, that's what I would imagine. At this point, Vlad is more known for being a Cub than a J. As Giordano grounds out to second, that ends the inning, but we do have a 1-run lead despite stranding 2, and Elliott will lead them off, batting 229 this season. It's a 1-2 pitch. And it is a pitcher killer up the middle, and the Reds have a leadoff single. So, not ideal. In comes Benjamin now, batting, where are we over here? 267 this season. A first pitch, a ground ball, it's a double play ball, 1-2. And there we go, we do indeed turn the double plate. It'll bring up Spagnolo, who's batting 299, an 0-1 pitch. And that is into left field. Going back is McQuaid. No, it's not McQuaid, it's Giordano. But McQuaid standing on top of Giordano wouldn't have got to that. 378 feet. And the game is tied 1. Retta will come in now, batting 245. It's a 2-2 pitch. And that is into centre field. De Leon is there. It's over De Leon. And we're just having a little bit of trouble seeing this innings off, aren't we? So it is a 2-out double. And it'll bring in Dunno, batting 278. A 3-1 pitch. And that is popped up. And that will end the inning as Watson makes the grab. So 1-1 going into the second. It is Ballesteros to lead us off, batting 238. Now he has got his 500th career hit since we saw him last. And that's not going to add to that tally as he's popped it up into centre field. 4-1 away. It'll bring up Namala, who since we saw him last has got his 250th career RBI. Now he's batting 267 this season. And he strikes out watching there. And it'll bring up De Leon, batting 263, who has brought up his 100th career double since we saw him last. As that could be another one as it's into the gap of right centre field. And De Leon might even turn that into a triple. No, he stops at second. So a 2-out double for the number 9 man. It'll bring Watson back up. He's 1 for 1 today. First pitch, Watson grounds it to the second baseman to end the inning. And that didn't really look like a pitch that needed to be swung at, if I'm honest. It was high and inside. Eury will come in now, batting 211. He was one of my favourites at our All-Canadian Jays, I have to say. And he strikes out. Nice pitch there by Perez for 1 down. In comes Hernandez, batting 266. 1-2 pitch and another strikeout for Perez. He's not mucking around this inning, is he? Blakely comes in, batting 269. A 1-2 pitch again. And Perez out. Is that striking out the side? Or did the first... He did strike out the side. Excellent work. Bobby Patterson 0 for 1. A 1-2 pitch. And that is popped up again into left field. It'll be caught. And that'll be 1 away. And it'll bring up De La Cruz, who is 1 for 1 today. Drove in Watson, of course, last time at the plate. This time a 2-2 pitch is grounded to the second baseman. So that'll be 2 down. And it'll bring up William McQuaid, who is 1 for 1. It is a 1-1 pitch. And McQuaid down the third base line into left field. And it is a double for McQuaid. So with 2 out, the go-ahead run is in scoring position. Can Vlad drive it in for us? Vlad is 0 for 1 today. It's an 0-2 pitch. Vlad, it's going to be caught by the shortstop. And that'll do it. So we'll go to the third, tied at 1. Sanchez will lead them off, batting 243 this season, a 1-0 pitch. And that is popped up. It'll be caught by Namala, 1 away. It'll back to top of the order for Elliott, who is 1 for 1. It's a 3-1 pitch. And it is a 1-out walk. So up will come Benjamin, who grounded nicely into a double play for us last time up. This time, he got it a little bit better. In fact, he got it a lot better. It is now 3-1. To the Reds. That is 393 feet. And this is not what's supposed to be happening. Perez will face Spagnolo now, who hit 1 out there last time up. An 0-1 pitch. And that is going to drop in. So a 1-out single. And not Perez's greatest outing, this one, is it? He's not done terribly, but you give up home runs and it's never going to end well for you. And that could be another one. It is now 5-1 as Perez gives up a second 2-run home run in the inning. Eury. I sent you to the top of the rotation for a reason, and this wasn't it. Perez will face Dunno now, who is 0 for 1. A 3-1 pitch. And that's a ground ball. Vlad takes care of it. 2 away. And in will come Eury now, who is 0 for 1. A full count. And, oh my... It is 6-1, a third home run inning. That is absolutely massive. 425 feet, and surely now Perez has just got to go. 6-1, we've been blown apart in the bottom of the third, and Lonsway will indeed come in for Hernandez, who is 0 for 1. A 2-2 pitch. It looked like last inning that Perez was just getting into his groove, didn't it? And he's come back out, and he's just forgotten how to throw a ball. So a 2-out single. Lonsway to Blakely now, who's 0 for 1. It's an 0-1 pitch. And that is into the gap of right centre field. And it could score another one, you know. What is going on with this pitching, with this everything? As it is now 7-1. And Sanchez will come in. And we're going to have one hell of a task to try and pull this back. It's popped up. That should end a disastrous third. But, I mean, this is the worst team in baseball. I thought we were going to really kick on. And like anything, it's baseball. It's one game. Anything can happen in one game. But this is just massively disappointing. Ballesteros will come in 0 for 1. It's a 3-1 pitch. Ballesteros up the middle is robbed by a diving second baseman. Namala now, who's 0 for 1. A 2-2 pitch. Namala, that should drop into left center field, and Namala will have a 2-out single. It'll bring up De Leon. Let's see what he can do. 1 for 1. De Leon grounds it to the third baseman, and that will be out at first. And it'll end the fourth. So we go to the bottom of that fourth inning. We are 7-1 down. Lonsway will continue to Elliott, who is 1 for 1. An 0-2 pitch and a ground ball to Vlad for the first out. In now will come Benjamin, who is 1 for 2. Hit the home run, of course, last time up. The first of the home runs. A 1-2 pitch. And that is in front of the plate. Ballesteros is there. Ballesteros can't make the play in time. Spagnolo, who is 2 for 2 with a home run. It's an 0-1 pitch. And that is up the middle. Namala decides he doesn't want to dive. And that is a 1-out single, sorry. So 2 on, 1 out for Retta, who hit a home run last inning as well. It's a 1-2 pitch. It is a strikeout. It is 2 down. And it is Dunno, who is 0 for 2. A 1-2 pitch. And that is into deep right field. It's another one. It's a 3-run home run this time, and that's 10. What is going on? And when did the Reds learn how to play baseball? This is horrid. Lonsway to Eury, who hit a home run last time. I mean, who hasn't hit a home run for them at this point? That's a pitcher killer. And it is a 2-out single. We haven't come back from the All-Star break yet. We went off early. And this could be 3 in a row now that we've lost to the Reds. And I repeat, they are the worst team in, well, if not baseball, I think they were just the second worst team in baseball. But they're certainly the worst team in the National League. As Watson strikes out. Patterson now 0 for 2. I mean, we do have the offense in the lineup to score runs quickly, but we're not really seeing much of it here, are we? De La Cruz with a 1-1. 2 out, none on. De La Cruz pops it up. And that will be 1 away. It is a little bit, I think, perhaps a day where their pitchers, as Joswiak will come out now for us. ERA of 194 for him this season. Perhaps it's a day where, you know, their pitcher is having a better day than some. And maybe their bats or our pitching is... I mean, you can't really say it's at this point 2 pitchers. You'd imagine it's just that their bats are having a good day as well. As Joswiak gets another strikeout. And it'll bring up Benjamin, who is 2 for 3. He's really made up hitting to that double play in the first inning, hasn't he? That should be caught by De Leon to end the 5th. So after giving up 9 runs in the last 2 innings, it's nice to shut them out, isn't it? To the 6th, and McQuaid to lead us off. He's 2 for 2 today. A 1-0. McQuaid has got onto 1, and McQuaid has pulled 1 back. It is 10 to 2. So we're not quite done yet. It is the hope that kills you, and we're probably going to die a painful death here, but still, there is hope. 345 feet that one. Vlad now, who's 0 for 2. It's an 0-1 pitch. And Vlad gets a good piece of 1 into left field. That will be a single. So now we need Giordano to not hit into a double play and see if we can keep this going. Giordano 0 for 2 today, a 1-1. Giordano into left field. That'll be caught. And it'll bring up Ballesteros. Now, Ballesteros does have a 10-game on-base streak going. He hasn't reached base yet today. It's a 1-1 pitch. Ballesteros, oh, that could be double play. When it's not your day, it's not your day. And it's just very often not our day at the Cubs, isn't it? Alright, Spagnolo will face Joswiak. It's a 1-2 pitch. And that is a ground ball. Vlad has it over to first, 1 away. In now will come Retta, who is 2 for 3. It's a 3-0. And it is a 1-out walk. Dunno, who is 1 for 3. He hit a 3-run home run, of course, back in the 4th. And that could be, no, we can't stop it, can Watson, and that'll be runners at first and second with 1 away. In comes Eury, who is 2 for 3 with a home run. First pitch, Eury into right center field, and that will cancel out the run we just scored through McQuaid, and it might even tack on another one. It does. It's a 2 RBI double. It is 12-2, and if there was any hope, that has now been distinguished. Hernandez, who is 1 for 3. Crucially, though, no home run, and that is caught. Runner will try to get to third and will indeed get there. So, 2 out, runner at third for Blakely, who is 1 for 3. A 2-2 and a strikeout to end the 6th. We need 10 runs in 3 innings, and that is just to tie it if they remain scoreless. Namala, who is 1 for 2. Full count. And a walk. In now comes De Leon, who is 1 for 2. First pitch, De Leon into a double play. Thankfully, they just managed to get the 1 there. In comes Watson, who is 1 for 3. Started off so well with a hit, didn't he, in the first? It's gone downhill a little bit since then, as he gets himself a single. So runners at first and second with 1 away. Patterson at the plate, who is 0 for 3. First pitch swing. Patterson has sent it into deep left field. Patterson has pulled back 3. It is 12-5 in the top of the 7th. It's Patterson's 10th home run of the season. It's 375 feet. And it is Langales coming in to pinch hit for De La Cruz. Now, we've had some interesting decisions here as we've looked at managers and thought, what are you thinking? In all seriousness, unless we had an injury to De La Cruz that I missed, what are you thinking? Taking De La Cruz out of the game as Langas, I should say, pops it up. And he's caught. It's like he wants to lose the game. That is unbelievable decision making. 3 for 3 today is McQuaid, a 2-2 pitch. And McQuaid goes 4 for 4. As he has himself a 2-out single. Now, if, and it's a big if, now there's a change on the mound as well as Walston comes on, ERA of 587. If Vlad could put one over the fence here, get us back to 12-7, you never know. It's a full count. Come on, Vlad. Vlad into right field, it drops in. So we've now got 2 men on base with 2 out. Runners at the corners, and it's Giordano. Giordano is 0 for 3 today, and to be honest, hasn't looked particularly good. A 1-1, that's into left field. It's going to drop in. It's another run across. It is now 12-6 with 2 on. It is Ballesteros still trying to keep this 10-game on-base streak alive. He's 0 for 3. It's a 2-2. He forgets the swing. And, well, we're halfway there. It's 12-6, and we will stretch. Alright, welcome back. Thank you for actually coming back. It is Joswiak to face Sanchez. It's a 1-2 pitch. And that is popped straight up. And who's at third? Pratt is moved on to third. And DJ will come onto the mound now. Another lefty. So we're going through our lefties today. It's a 1-2 pitch on Clark Elliott. And that is a strikeout, which is very nice to see. And it brings up Benjamin. 3-0. And he walks. A 2-out walk. In now will come Spagnolo, who is 3 for 4. It's a 1-0. It is a little ball in front of the plate. And can we get there? Yes, we can. So that ends the bottom of the 7th. Can we get another 4 and make it interesting going into the 9th? Namala will lead us off 1 for 2. It's a 1-0 pitch. Namala, it's a decent one, but it is caught in left field, 4-1 away. De Leon now, who's 1 for 3. First pitch. De Leon to the shortstop. That is past the shortstop. Is it an error? No, it's an infield hit for De Leon. So runner at first now for Watson, who's 2 for 4. A 1-2. Watson up the middle with a pitcher killer. Runners at first and second. No, wait. De Leon's going for third. Runners at the corners with 1 away. In now comes Patterson, who hit a home run last time up. He is 1 for 4 today, a 2-2. And Patterson, is that going to drop in? Is it deep enough to score De Leon from third? No. If only we had De La Cruz coming to the plate, Rocco. It's Cooper Pratt batting .246 this season. A 1-2 pitch. Pratt! It's past. It's into the outfield. Oh, I'm choking up here. It is 12-7 with runners at the corners. 2 out. And McQuaid to the plate. Now, McQuaid has done a little bit of work today. He's 4 for 4. Could he go 5 for 5? An 0-2 pitch. And no, not against the lefty. So we strand 2 valuable runners. It is 12-7 going into the bottom of the 8th. DJ will face Retta, who is 2 for 3. An 0-1 pitch. And we've hit him, which is not ideally what we would have done there. So Dunno comes in. He is 2 for 4 with a runner at first. He strikes out. So 1 away. It'll bring up Eury, who is 3 for 4. A 2-2 pitch. And that is a strikeout. So 2 down runner at first for Hernandez, who is 1 for 4. Full count. Ball past Watson into right field. And with 2 out, there will be runners at the corners. And Nolan McLean will come in. Now, he has got his 100th strikeout for the club since we saw him last. He hasn't added to that, but it should be caught in right field to end the inning. So we go to the 9th, needing an unlikely 5 to tie it up. But you never know your luck. It is going to be Wilson continuing to Vlad, who is 2 for 4. It's a 1-1 pitch. And Vlad pops it up into right field, and you really do think he needed to be on base if we had any chance of doing this. Giordano now, who is 1 for 4. An 0-1 pitch. Giordano into center field. Is that going to drop in? It doesn't look like it. 2 down. We're down to our final out. It is Ballesteros. One last chance to keep this 10-game on-base streak alive. It's a 1-2 pitch. And the streak and the game have been ended by quite a good catch in center field. We have lost to the Reds. So there we go. I mean, it feels a little bit. It was just like Perez and Lonsway were off. And after that, we were not too bad. Now, I just want to check. Was there an injury to Dela Cruz? There wasn't. I mean, why on earth? He switch hit us anyway. There was absolutely no need to take him out of that game. I don't understand why on earth we would have done that. I mean, if anybody has any idea, that is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen AI do on this game. He's literally a switch hitter. I do not understand what the thinking was there. Unless there's some sort of like weird matchup against that specific pitcher. But even then, like, why would you do that? He's won MVP for like the last 7 years in the league. I don't understand why you'd take him out of the game. But anyway, no point crying about it now. It's done. And we will be done and back for... we'll come back probably somewhere around San Diego. I'm thinking St. Louis, if that's a big game in the division at the time. Yeah, I don't think we want to go quite as far as Detroit. So we'll come back somewhere around this part, middle of August, and see where that has us sitting. But until then, guys, I've been Aussie Bell, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.